everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video I will share with you a very beautiful booties recipe with only 6 motifs. It has such a practical construction that even those who have started knitting for the first time can easily do it. I want to show you our model up close right away. We will work on the classic handmade baby motif, but it does not necessarily have to be this motif. You can use different motifs in this work. I want to show you right away. Look, there is no difficulty. We will have prepared our work using a total of 6 motifs. It is really incredibly enjoyable. It also has a very practical construction. That is, you can knit and prepare more than one in a day. Look, you can knit colorfully like this. You can prepare it in single color or 2 colors. It was a really nice project that you can do using the excess yarns you have. I hope you like it and try it too. It was really a beautiful work from my heart. Before moving on to our detailed recipe, I would like to make a small request from you. You can subscribe to our channel for free, like the video, and leave your comments. I would be really happy. Let's move on to our recipe. I used cotton yarns for my knitting. I also got my yarns from Aksa Orgu Boutique. I will be adding the contact information to the description of the video. I will have prepared my work using a total of 5 colors. Look. The texture of the yarn I used is like this up close, but you don't have to use a cotton yarn in this work. You can also use the leftover yarns at home. The content doesn't matter. You can easily do this work with the yarns you want. When working with cotton yarn, my crochet hook size will be 3 mm. You can determine your own crochet hook size according to the thickness of your own yarn, the density and looseness of your knitting. Here, after the crochet hook, we will need an etamiene needle and scissors. That's all the materials we will use. It's really a very easy, enjoyable work. Look at it this way, we need 6 motifs in total. I had prepared 5 of them. Now we will knit and prepare the 6th one together. It's a really easy motif. It doesn't have to be this motif. You can do this work with different motifs. A work that can be done with different motifs. So if you know a square motif, you can easily do this work. First, I start with a magic ring. If there are those of us who are new to magic rings or don't know, I will add the link to the recipe in the description section below. You can reach it by clicking there. If you don't know how to make a magic ring, you can also create your beginning by making 5 chains or 4 chains. Here, while creating a magic ring, we make 1 chain. Now this is a chain 2. We have completed it with a hook. I take out a loop by inserting it into our ring. There are 3 loops. I fill them together. I prepare a double crochet by knitting them together. I wrap them again. I knit another double crochet into our ring. Here I make 1 chain to create the corners. I wrap it around my hook. Since I don't want it to be too empty, 1 chain is enough. Now I knit 3 double crochets again. We accepted a crochet in the first 3 chains. 1, 2, 3 crochets, 1 chain. Now we knit 3 crochets again. 2, fly. At this stage, if you think I'm knitting too fast, you can slow down the video or speed it up. 1 chain, we knit 3 double crochets into our ring, another chain. And 3 double treble crochets into the ring. There will be 4 in this treble crochet group. Now when we look like this, 3 treble crochets, 1 chain, 3 treble crochets, 1 chain, 3 treble crochets, 1 chain, 4. Look, we have obtained the group. Now we pull the short yarn remaining from the magic ring as far as we can and close this middle part. Then I make 1 chain and look, I do not touch the triple chain. There were 1 or 2, 3 chains. I sink to the top of the first treble crochet, take it on the hook with the short yarn and make a stitch from this point and slip. It gives me the top space of the chain. Then I make 1 chain at this stage. Now I take my scissors like this, I cut and remove my yarn about 5 centimeters, and now let's tighten this chain. We have obtained the first row of the motif in this way. Look, there are triple treble crochet groups and we have created a chain in each corner. Now I take our other color. Let's take a different color right away. It is really a very easy motif, but there will be different motifs in this work. Now I take my new color with one chain, I fill my hook with a chain. After creating my stitch, I fill my hook in yarn. You can start from any corner. I start one step behind the point I finished. We always start using one chain points. I sank into the one chain space. I dropped a stitch. There are 3 stitches. I fill them together. 2 stitches remain. Since I want to knit by hiding the short yarn, I put it in between like this. I wrapped. We start with a double crochet by knitting the remaining 2 stitches. I wrapped. I knit 3 double crochets into the one chain space 2, 3. I fill 4. See, we start the pattern halfway. I pass 3 crochets in the corner and find a one chain space. I knit 3 2 crochets at this point immediately. 1, 2, 3. I make one chain for the corner. We will knit by hiding the short yarns as well. I come to the same space and knit another triple crochet. 1. Iki 3. We will always proceed by making groups of 3 like this. There is no chain in between, there is only one chain in the corners. I fill my hook directly, I find the next one chain space, and look, I knit these 2 yarns in between, keeping them on the hook and hiding them. 1, 2, 3, then I fill a chain and come to the same space and make another group of 3 treble crochets. I am knitting, look carefully, 3 treble crochets, 1 chain, it became 3 treble crochets. I hid the short yarns enough at this stage, I am leaving it. I wrapped it with a crochet hook. I come to the one chain space again and knit 3 double treble crochets, 1 chain. I am knitting 3 double treble crochets in the same space. Look, we are creating a chain like this. Now we knitted half when we started, there is no chain in between. I am filling the space we first started with and the remaining 3 double treble crochets at this point. I am knitting now. I will not finish by making a chain here. I will make a slip. Because I started with a double crochet, see there is no chain, I directly sank to the top of the double crochet. I took out a stitch, I make a slip. This slip gives me a one chain gap. Now I am making a one chain gap and cutting my yarn again. Let's not cut it too short, let's tighten the chain. Then we will hide this short yarn. In other words, when we wash our knitting, it is useful not to leave it too short so that the yarns do not unravel or open. It is useful to hide the yarns well. Now let's take our next color. And I start with a one chain gap in the same way. I wrapped it around my hook. And here I come, I start from a one chain gap in the corner, one step behind the point I finished, always starting with a double crochet in this way. Look well, we are moving on to the new color of the knitting music like this. Now I am filling, I have come to the same space, I am immediately completing the treble crochet into 3. Look, we are hiding 2 or 3 of those short yarns here. Now I am filling, we will look at the intermediate spaces. I pass the triple treble crochet group and come to the intermediate space. I am knitting 3 double treble crochets. There is no chain in between, there is only one chain point in the corners. Now I have finished. Look, I did it with a slip. I am coming to a one chain space. Now the process I have done here is exactly the same as the process in the row below. 3 treble crochets, 1 chain, 3 double treble crochets in the same space. I am filling. In the meantime, I continue knitting by hiding the short yarns. I pass 3 groups and come to the intermediate space. To the wide space. I knit 3 double crochets to this point. Look, the logic of the knitting is understood. If you think it is not very detailed at this stage, there was a very detailed video where I explained this motif for those who are new to knitting. I will share that video with you as well. A really easy example. Always 3 double crochets, 1 chain, 3 double crochets in the corners, always working 3 double crochet groups in the intermediate spaces. Look, we will knit our motif here in 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. We will knit it with coffee at the end. I will pass this point. We have a single crochet row in a row. Now, as I have described my motif here, the endings and beginnings will always be the same. Let's complete 1, 2, 3, 4 rows in this way. Let's finish the 4th row because in every row, look, I will finish the same way I finished green here. Then let's move on to describing this red row. We have completed our motif in 4 rows. I have taken the color that we will use as the last single crochet. Again, I'm starting with a chain here. And at this point I am directly inserting into the one chain space in the corner, and look, I am passing without wrapping it over. I am directly sinking. I took off the stitch. There are 2 stitches. I want to knit the short yarn by hiding it. I put it in between like this. I am filling. I am knitting single crochet by closing 2 stitches at the same time. Now I knitted 1 single crochet into the one chain space. Now I will knit 1 single crochet to the top of each treble. I am hiding the short yarn on the hook to the top of the treble. I took off the stitch, single crochet, sink to the top of the next treble, and again single crochet. Now I will knit 1 single crochet to each one like this, sinking into each treble. We will have passed this edge part. If you want to make the motif here bigger, you can make 1 row bigger. Your yarn is thin. It does not have to be in the same row number as I did. You do not have to make the single crochet here. You can also go completely with treble. You can make such changes very easily. Now we come to the one chain space, 1 single crochet to the one chain space, immediately a chain, and I come to the same space. I am knitting the 2nd single crochet. Look, 1 single crochet in the same space, 1 chain, 1 single crochet again, then immediately see I made a slip. The first treble, immediately I sink to the top of the treble, crochet and knit again. In the meantime I hide the short yarn and knit it. Look, this is what we did in the corner. We will knit each treble crochet with 1 single crochet when we come to the corner. In other words, when we come to a one chain space, we will pass the corner points with 1 single crochet, 1 chain, 1 single crochet. Now let's frame it like this. Let's come to the end part immediately. We have come to the end of our row here. Look, we started the one chain space with 1 single crochet. Now we have come to a chain again. We are knitting 1 single crochet. Look, since we will slip without making a chain as in the lower rows, slipping gives us a one chain space. I immediately make a chain like this and cut my yarn enough. I tighten the chain here. I immediately take this short thread from the gap I made like this to the back, so we have the same finish in the corners. I will definitely hide this thread by passing the short thread through the gaps with the help of a crochet hook. You can also hide it with an etching needle so that it will be a clean work. See, it is definitely useful to hide such threads. In fact, let's hide our red thread nicely. Now the sewing part is left. This is the easiest part. If you want, you can also combine it with the help of a crochet hook. But now I will combine it with the etching needle, that is, with sewing. Now we need to show it like this. Look at this point. This is important. We have 6 motifs in total. Let's immediately flatten the motif in centimeters like this. Let's also give the measurement in centimeters. Look, here we have obtained a motif of approximately 8.5 centimeters. This is the work we will do. So when you obtain 8.5 centimeters, even 37 to 39 centimeters can wear it very easily. If you knit a row more tightly, you can find comfort in 40, 41. If you want to make it smaller, for example, if you are going to work for size 35 or size 36, you cannot knit that one row of treble crochet, or this can change depending on your yarn. In other words, 7.5 centimeters will be enough for 36, 37, but as I said, 37, 38, or even 39 can be worn comfortably. 8.5 centimeters is also enough. The measurements are like this in total. Let's show it right away. We have 6 motifs. Now how are we going to place this motif? This is important. As I said, I will use an etching needle to combine, but you can also easily do this with the help of a crochet hook. Now look here, we will combine 4 motifs normally. Let's do it like this here. Look at the front part. I'm closing the reverse parts of the motifs so that they face each other. Look at this front part where our fingers will be. I'm folding the other motif like this into a triangle. I'm placing it here. These will come together. Again, I'm folding this motif into a triangle. This will also fit like this. Let's fold it like this. I'll show it roughly at this point. It shouldn't be opened. Let's describe it somehow. Now these will come to the edges like this. This will be the base. Look, the point I turned upside down. The other motif will come on top of it like this. Now this is our shape. We will combine like this. These dots will come together. The base will come together anyway. The only part that does not come together here, look, the part that will be open is these 2 dots. Look, the point where the heel part is will not come together. These two edges, this edge and this edge. Now when we combine it, you will see this easily. In fact, I want to show it on a mannequin like this. Look, this is its shape. The sole will be joined by 4 motifs. This will come on top of it. Look, these motifs will join at 4 points like this. The motif that remains on the heel will not be joined by one side or the other. Look, you can see the open side. 2 edges are open on the edge that does not join, already on 1 or 2 edges here. Look, you can see the motif that comes to the ball, and on the base, like this, 1 motif at the front and 1 at the back, the points that I call triangles, the base part and the motif that comes right behind it. Now we will move on to joining like this. I will immediately place my needle in my thread. I want to show you this in detail. There is a very easy method of joining, but as I said, you can also make slips with a crochet hook and join with a tight needle. You don't have to use an etamine needle. I don't tie a knot in my yarn here, look. I leave the yarn long enough and cut it so that I don't have to tie the yarn again. Now I put enough yarn here. I joined this front part first. Look, I'm taking it. Let's do it like this. Since I didn't tie a knot here, I'll wrap the rope until it reaches this 1 chain point. Look, I'm pulling the string. I'm actually walking the rope. And now look, there is a chain link space right between these 2 tight stitches. I've come to this point. I took the string out from here. Now I closed it so that the wrong parts are facing each other. Now I find a chain point on the opposite side. Look, I attach the motifs to each other right before this point. Then I immediately insert from the next point. I didn't do it by stitching back and forth. Look, I want to show it like this, by inserting opposite each other. Look, these tight needles stayed like this and created a nice texture. I like this too, but you can also do a tight stitch. Look, I like this look. You can sew it however you want. I immediately insert into the next tight needle. I insert into the tight needle on the opposite piece and bring the yarn across. Then look at the next one. I insert the needle into the top of the next single crochet. I pull it out from the top of the opposite single crochet and pass my yarn through it. Then the top of another tight needle is inserted into the top of the tight needle on the opposite piece, and now I take the opposite thread to this side and sew in this way. It is quite strong. You may think that it may not be strong. I am joining it in 1 layer, but if you want, you can make your thread in 2 layers. Look like this. There is no difficulty. It will be enough to pass each point once against each other. It is really easy to sew. You can do more than 1 in a day. I will continue like this. I will sink against each other. Look, I will join 1 edge, I will join another edge. Now like this, let's join these 2 edges. I showed the stitch so that all the points will be opposite. Now let's come to this end. Look, I joined the end part as I described here. Now I will include the other triangle in this point. Now I take it. Look, I am at the point where there is a complete chain. I will immediately sink into a single wing like this and provide the connection here. Look at the corners immediately. I make it a hole. You can also sink into the intermediate spaces like this to meet right at the corner. Now look at this point. The front part will meet at this part. Now I'm joining this point as well. I'm at this point. I'm going to join this part. I'll join this place and move on to the back. Look, I'm repeating the same process right away. I fix the corners with the same sewing method by sinking opposite each other. Now by inserting each tight needle point opposite each other, here actually look, I just made the connection as I said. Now I will connect this point here. The triangle will come, this will come. Look, just by sewing, I hope it is understood at this point. I think there is no need to show in detail. Now just while connecting the other corner, look, I will connect the sharp end here as I did at the beginning. I will connect the sharp end on this side as well. The other edge part, look, this part that comes to the top will remain open. It is already completely connected at the base. Look, I will show it like this. Here we will combine both the upper part. In this way, and also on the lower base, all 4 motifs will be combined as a whole. Now let's make it a whole as we have described. Now here, as I have described to you, I have made it a whole. The front part, the side triangles look like this. Now we will place the other piece on the base part. I am not breaking the thread here. Look, I have completed my stitching without breaking the thread. Now by walking it in these intermediate parts, look, I am walking my thread in the intermediate points. I don't cut it all, and I come to the end part here, and I come to the middle part here. Now at this point, look, I will continue to combine. First of all, I find a chain vertical space here, I sink it. Here I will immediately insert the middle part like this. Here I made the combination by inserting the spaces of one chain opposite each other. Now I will start to insert it immediately on this side. Look, I am continuing the same process by inserting the tops of the frequent needles opposite each other. Now we will have completely joined the base like this. I am proceeding as I said without breaking the rope. If you leave your rope long, you can easily place it. Now I will join the base in the same way. Look, when I come to this part here, we will come to this end here. I will not break the rope here. What will I do? I will take the piece here. I will combine the motif here, this edge here and here. Look, I will go to this side, then combine it at the base and break the rope at this base, these 2 edges. Look, I mentioned we will complete our booty by leaving the opening here. I hope it is understandable. I want to repeat it once more. Now look, we have run the rope to the middle of the base to join here. We are placing the motif. We have come to the end here. Now we will be here. We will immediately include the motif here and join this edge here to this edge. Then we will combine the other open part of the base and break our rope here. Then we will have completely made our booty a whole. Look, this part will be the open part. Now let's combine it completely and share its finished form with you quickly. Look, we put our motifs together as we described to you. Look, this is the shape of the motif. We put our motifs together like this using a total of 6 motifs. Just look at the point where our foot will enter. 1 or 2 edges are left open like this. It really turned out to be a beautiful piece of work. I would like to give you the measurements in centimeters right away. Let's look at its length right away. Its longest point is 22 centimeters. Let's measure its hand right away. His hand is 11 centimeters. I have already given the dimensions of the motif. You can make the number of rows you want according to the size of the booty you will make. I want to show it by dressing the mannequin right away. Look, right and left do not change. We knit both in the same way. Let's dress our booty on our mannequin right away. It's really a beautiful work. As you know, these motifs are very fashionable this year. It looks really nice on your feet. Look, our recipe was this easy and enjoyable. As I said, you can knit and prepare more than one in a day. It was really a beautiful work. I wish good luck to those who will do it. Don't forget to like our video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. Goodbye until we see you in the next video.